Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. McCobb, and welcome back to my movie library. You know, you guys know me. I do love my 4Ks. I really do. And, as many times as I've seen movies that, ended up looking amazing on 4K, there are times where, unfortunately, not every movie always translates very well to 4K. And, I mean, this is just my opinion, but, yeah, I got to be honest. Sad to say, today we got in from Warner Brothers. We've got Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, and this was one that honestly I was very, very much looking forward to getting on 4K because most of the time, whenever I've gotten one of these kind of stop motion animation movies on 4K, usually they look astounding. Nightmare Before Christmas on 4K, game changer, looks amazing on 4K. Wallace and Gromit collection, there's still plenty more movies, stop animation movies I would love to see get the 4K treatment. I would love to see, well, being as Disney, chances are we'll probably never see it, but it's like I wouldn't mind seeing Frankenweenie get, the 4K treatment. I wouldn't mind seeing Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were Rabbit get the 4K treatment. Pirates, Band of Misfits, some of the Shaun the Sheep movies, stuff like that. There's still a number of these I would, be willing to take a chance on, to get on 4K, depending. But it is a gamble. And unfortunately, just in my opinion, Corpse Bride on 4K just didn't really deliver. Not for me, it didn't. Just, with the HDR. And I mean, I was expecting this to look so much better than it did. I remember seeing a couple of reviews on this already where people were talking about like, oh my God, it looks so amazing, the detail and everything else. It's like, unless, I don't know. It's like, I guess it's always possible. They might come out and say, yeah, there was a problem, but this here, when I watched this, it was so dark that there was just like, oh my God, like they talked about how, I mean, yeah, there's, when you're watching the movie in the land of the living, there's kind of this black and white aspect to it. And it doesn't really turn to color until you get to the land of the dead. And just watching it on 4K, I was just really set back because I was expecting, especially the scenes when you get into the land of the dead, I was really expecting to see just visual feast for the eyes. I was expecting to see so much. And while some images do pop, I just felt like I was just like really having to like really kind of like doing this the whole time to kind of see stuff, especially the scenes in the land of the living. And I just wasn't really, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really impressed with it. I gotta be honest, just for me personally, this was pretty underwhelming. I mean, I'm still going to keep it. One thing that is nice, you get a couple new bonus features that's not on the Blu-ray. But I do have my Blu-ray, and here in a minute, you're going to see me turn this into a Blu-ray 4K combo pack because when it comes to watching the movie, I would much rather watch the Blu-ray just for the terms of the picture quality. Sound quality is amazing. You got Dolby Atmos on here. And just the sound will knock you out of your chair. Even if you don't have a big sound setup in your house, if all you got was just, like just the regular speaker on your TV, yeah, I mean, you'll be blown out of your chair just by the sound alone. There is something I do like about this transfer, though. I do like the kind of gothic, black and white, kind of almost like old, deep black, kind of gothic element to it, the gothic, kind of horror element to it. But still, it's just, it really is. It's kind of hard to watch. And, just a number of times, it's like, that'd be the thing. Like when I'm watching it, like if I turn off my light, it would look a little bit better on the TV. But the problem is, like if I'm watching the movie, if I have the light on, mostly, especially the scenes with the land of the living, what mostly I'm seeing on my TV screen? My reflection in the TV. That's a lot of what I'm seeing. And I gotta be honest, I'm sorry, this just didn't really do it for me. This, I mean, I'm not really that disappointed by it. I mean, it was, it was a very cheap. I went with the standard edition. I didn't go for the, I didn't go for the steel book or the collector's edition as much as I would have liked the collector's edition. Yeah, $95 was a little bit too much for the collector's edition, and I'm not the world's biggest steelbook fan, so I just went with the standard edition. But like I said, I do want to keep this because I don't know. There's still maybe a time or two where maybe I'll watch the 4K transfer again and see maybe if it grows on me. But just at the moment, it's like if I want to watch the movie, I would much rather just put on Blu-ray. I see much more detail, much more definition in the picture quality. I don't feel like I'm having to strain my eyes to see everything. I don't feel like I have to keep kind of like sitting forward to try to see what's on the screen. But real quick, sorry, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but real quick, I just want to say if anybody gives you the digital code that comes with this, because you do get the digital code, if anybody gives you the digital code for this Corpse Bride, when I renewed my code, I got the 4K version of the movie, the 4K UHD version. So if somebody gives you a code for this, that should be the version of the movie you should get when you redeem the code. So, but yeah, we got, a couple of new bonus features on here. We got Digging Up the Past, The Minds Behind Corpse Bride. We got Till Death Do Us Part, or Till Death Do Us Art, a Corpse Bride reflection. The Animators, The Breath of Life. Danny Elfman interprets the two worlds. Let me read off here. It's like, mostly, it's a little bit easier on here to read. Okay, because, all the bonus features on here are on here except for the two new ones. The Digging Up the Past, The Minds Behind Corpse Bride, and Till Death Do Us Art, a Corpse Bride reflection. The rest of what you get is Inside the Two Worlds. Danny Elfman interprets the two worlds. The Animators, The Breath of Life. Tim Burton, Dark versus Light. Voices from the Underground, Making Puppets Tick. The Voices Behind the Voice. The Corpse Bride pre-production galleries, music only track, and theatrical trailer. So all of that is on here, plus the two new bonus features. Here we go. It's very basic. It's very simple. Not much in terms of the disc art here. But, real quick, let me show you some. In case, that is one thing I will say, too. Another reason why I'll keep this, like, that slipcover is something else. Look at that. I know these Warner Brothers slipcovers can be very hit or miss. But look at that. Look at how nice and embossed that is. That is gorgeous. So, for $25 after tax, for a $25 4K, standard edition, I don't think that's too bad, and wait till we get this thing put in the nice protective case, wait and see how nice that's going to look here real quick. But, yeah, that's really nice. The movie itself, I cannot recommend this movie enough, and that is one thing I am really happy about, is that, I'm sorry, I have to work with a 2-disc Blu-ray case because I don't have a 2-disc 4K case handy, but it really is nice that we were able to get this out just in time for Halloween. The movie itself, I enjoy immensely. I've watched this movie a number of times. This is a really, really fun movie to put on during the Halloween season. So, real quick, we're going to take our Blu-ray here. And we're going to pop this in here. There we go. And we're going to take our 4K disc here. Pop that in there. There we go. Now we got our Blu-ray 4K combo. And then, like I said, I have this on digital to watch too as well. So, but yeah, just the movie itself is really great. It does make me feel a little bit sad and melancholy though, because the times when we were getting all these wonderful Johnny Depp, Tim Burton collaborations, and now those days are over, because Johnny Depp is pretty much just renounced Hollywood, and you can't blame him after the way he was treated and everything else. But it's like it would have been fun to see what kind of future collaborations Johnny Depp and Tim Burton could have done. I would have loved to see, maybe like a movie that, Johnny and Tim collaborate on and then bring his daughter, Lily Rose Depp, into it. I think that would have been cool, to see her enter into the Tim Burton universe. That would have been great. I don't know if we'll ever see that or not, but, you never know. But, still. Would I recommend this, though? Honestly, I can't say that I do, though. I would say, honestly, if you got the Blu-ray, to be truthfully honest, I would say just stick with the Blu-ray. It's a little bit more visually dazzling to watch. Like I said, just the 4K, a lot of it is just way too dark, and it just seems like you get more color, you get more of the elements that you want to see when you're watching it, on Blu-ray. It's just the 4K is just in certain aspects it's just way too dark, and in some instances it's unwatchable. To me, it is anyway. If you got eye problems like I do, I would say if you're still interested, like you want to get for the extra couple of bonus features and stuff, I would say wait a little bit and see if you could maybe pick this up on a sale. Maybe not jump on this right away. Yeah, I would say maybe wait and see if you can get this for a more reduced price, So, but the movie itself, I highly recommend. Yeah, definitely watch the movie itself. You got a great cast on there. You got, my God, yeah, Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, Emily Watson, Tracy Ullman, Joanne Lumley, Albert Finney, Christopher Lee, Michael Goff, Danny Elfman, Richard E. Grant. This has an amazing cast in it. And the story is a lot of fun. Some really good songs. Maybe not as catchy as the songs from Nightmare Before Christmas, but you still got some good songs in here. And it is a fun time. And at 77 minutes, this movie flies right by. But yeah, and it's a perfect movie, It's a perfect gateway movie to get kids into horror films. And especially kind of, get them started on the classics, because as like Tim Burton, usually his style of movies is usually kind of more of the old gothic, kind of Hammer, kind of Mario Bava, kind of Universal style and everything else, and this movie is a good way to start introducing kids into that world and maybe get them into those kind of films. But yeah, the movie itself is amazing and just, great cast, great story. I heard that Tim Burton is now working on a new animated movie, which, if that's true, I can't wait to see it. I love all three of his animated movies. I love his short movie, Vincent, his love letter to Vincent Price. I love that. But yeah, I love his, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh yeah, definitely love that movie. Corpse Bride, love this movie. Frankenweenie, love that movie. Really do enjoy these movies a lot. And, if he's got a new one in the works, I can't wait to see what it's going to be. But yeah, just this here, I would say if you want to get it, like for the couple of bonus features and stuff, I would just say, yeah, wait. Don't pick this up maybe right away. Maybe, wait, I don't know. Maybe this came out too soon, but there might be a possibility that this could drop down by Black Friday. You could pick it up like 10 to 15 bucks, so I would say just wait till you could get a good deal on it. I wouldn't say jump on this immediately. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and, here we go. We're going to protect this bad boy. There we go. Come on. You would fight, wouldn't you? Okay. Go. Sorry, I'll try to do this quick so I don't waste your time too much. There we are. Nice and snug. And all right. Voila. There you go. See, look at that. Not bad for just a standard edition, I know some people, will probably crap on this, be like, no, you need the steelbook because that's the collector's edition, or you need the, you need the big fat box set. So, as nice as it would have been to get the big fat box set, I would have loved to have had that. Honestly, like this, there are greater tragedies in the world than having to live with this, in my opinion, So I think I can bring myself to enjoy having this version of Corpse Bride. But like I said, yeah, I do want to keep it for the extra bonus features, but like I said, when it comes to watching the movie, most likely I'm just going to be popping in the Blu-ray. So, but yeah, just before you go, if you don't mind, I got two more things I'd like to show you. I did pick this up. It was on sale on Amazon. I haven't had a chance to watch the movie yet, but I am interested. It's Paul Naschy, 3D Chillerama. We have Frankenstein's Bloody Terror. The only thing is, though, is like I think it's funny because this seems like it has nothing to do with Frankenstein. Let me just read the synopsis real quick. Among the most elusive gems in the 1960s Euro horror, Frankenstein's Bloody Terror is a modern gothic 3D monster mash written by and starring Paul Naschy, the werewolf versus the vampire woman. Waldemar Dominsky Naschy suffers the bite of a werewolf and seeks the aid of a pair of occultists to rid himself of the curse, but Dr. Mikhailov and his wife are in fact vampires, and Waldemar's only defense against them is to unchain the lycanthrope inside. Newly mastered in 4K from 35mm elements in the US release cut of the film, this Kino Cult edition has been painstakingly restored by 3D Film Archive and is presented in both the stereoscopic 3D player and monitor required and anaglyphic versions. One pair of red-green glasses is provided. So, yeah, so you got the 2D, Blu-ray 3D, and anaglyphic. Yeah, I think so. Red, Cyan, 3D versions. Audio commentary by novelist and critic Tim Lucas. Audio commentary by film historians Troy Howarth, Troy Gwynn, and Rodney Barnett. About the 3D restoration by Tim Lucas. Alternate opening title sequence, deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, and radio spots. So yeah, looking forward to giving this a shot. Even though, like I said, from the synopsis, it doesn't really sound like it has much of anything to do with Frankenstein. But, oh well. And here we go. You know, I like that reversible cover art. You do get the other, but it's just pretty much the same thing as the slip cover. So I went with the reversible cover art. So, you know, as a lot of us do. You got the 3D glasses right there. You got the disc right there. So, just kind of your typical Kino Cult Blu-ray and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to checking this bad boy out here in a few minutes. So, yeah, got that. And picked this up. Got it for a good price. The only thing I'm not really happy about is the hat, you know, down in front of his face. I got a Indiana Jones figure. It's a talking figure, so you press it.
I hate these guys.
Come on.
I think we got a big problem.
So yeah, I picked this up. You know, it's for a good price. Like I said, that's the only thing I don't like about it is his hat's pulled down so far in front of his face that you can't hardly see his face in here. But that's to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. But yeah, I just, you know, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. Except for Dial of Destiny. I can do without that one. That one I don't need. But, you know, I even thought, believe it or not, I even thought Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had its fun moments. It is definitely the weakest of the bunch, but, you know, well, no, it's still better than Dial of Destiny. But, yeah, I mean, of course, the original Indiana Jones trilogy is, you know, just amazing. One of my all-time favorite movie series. So yeah, it's like, I did always want, like, a nice Indiana Jones figure. And while it's not great, I guess it's better than nothing. But anyway, so yeah, picked that up. And, you know, just thought I'd have this first, you know, have it for fun. You know, nice collectible figure. So anyway, so there's that. And Frankenstein's Bloody Terror. Can't wait to check that one out. And Corpse Bride on 4K. Like I said, I don't really feel like I too much wasted my money. You know, I mean, I bought a movie that I genuinely love and care about. It just, you know, that is the thing. When you're a 4K collector, you know, there are going to be times, you know, you pick up something and, you know, I'm not saying that this isn't for everyone. I'm sure that there are people out there, they're going to love and appreciate the 4K transfer a little bit more than I did. It just, you know, it just wasn't for me. But like I said, yeah, if you want to pick it up, I would say maybe kind of wait and see if you can maybe get it on the cheap. But that's just my opinion. But, you know, like I said, you know, yeah, you got a couple of new bonus features, but even still, those bonus features are kind of like, you could wait until this thing drops down in price, to get those. I mean, it's not going to be, it's not, like super amazing bonus features that, that are going to really blow you out of the water. It's just mostly just, people who work behind the scenes on the movie just kind of, reflecting on the movie and just kind of, talking about the past and the making of it and stuff. But anyway, so that's it. So, sorry this review wasn't more positive. I was really hoping, I was really hoping I was going to get on here and tell you guys, this is so great, man. What are you doing? If you haven't bought this, you need to go get it right now. But just them's the breaks, I was like, so. But as for the movie, I mean, hell, even just streaming or whatever, the movie itself, I can't recommend enough. This movie is amazing. If you haven't already, show it to your kids, get them watching it. Get them into it, it's, and still, I'm glad that they put this out right in time for the Halloween season. So, anyway, so there you go. So that's it. So, if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you mind leaving a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And, ring the notification bell. All that good stuff. Share the video. I wouldn't mind if you did that. But anyway, so that's it. So thank you, everybody. Have a good night. See you all later. Bye.